Today I'm going to talk to you about where I have been over the past 9 months, and I'm going to talk to you about my plans moving forward into 2018. Now, before we get started, I just want to make you aware that this is a difficult video for me to make, so please bear with me. In April of 2017, my father had a stroke. Now, he was a very healthy man, did lots of exercise, took care of himself, ate well, almost religiously healthy. So we were a little surprised, to say the least, when he had a stroke. A massive stroke, might I point out. And it turned out that he'd had a bleed into his brain. This is not the normal way that a person has a stroke. Turns out he had a condition called cerebral amyloid angiopathy, which causes the blood vessels in your brain to weaken over time and eventually start leaking. Eventually, a major blood vessel will rupture and you will bleed profusely into your brain, oftentimes causing death. The mortality rate is very, very high for this condition. He was rushed to hospital. I was made medically in charge, I guess, of him. I have a decent amount of medical knowledge, so that came in handy. I worked with the surgeons, and they took him in for surgery and did an operation on his brain to remove the clot and remove the bleeding and try and calm down the swelling in his brain. He was in a coma for a week or two and slowly began to regain consciousness. He then got pneumonia and almost died, and then he had some heart problems, which he apparently had also, and no one knew. So, a few weeks pass. He starts to talk. Things are looking up. The doctors are very hopeful that he'll regain some quality of life. Mind you, he's lost complete ability of the left side of his body. In fact, he doesn't even recognize the left side of his body as his own, which apparently is very common when people have strokes on the right-hand side. He also lacked cognitive functions in the areas of memory and the ability to reason. This was pretty difficult. However, he was still my dad, and I was able to have conversations with him, and, sometimes he was quite lucid. We were rehabbing him, and I was working with him every single day. I was in the hospital every single day for 3 months, taking care of him, helping him to re-recognize the left side of his body, trying to help him with pain management, trying to help him learn to eat again and drink, and these sorts of things. And eventually he was moved out of the hospital into a rehab facility. 5 days later, he was dead. He had a second stroke while I was there with him. He began to seize and vomit and was taken to the hospital. And ultimately, 18 hours later, he died. To say the least, it was a very traumatic and upsetting time. I had 3 months or so of this, and it was life and death almost every other day. So once he died, I had to take care of the funeral arrangements and begin to take care of my mother, who is disabled in her own ways and was very reliant on my father. Thankfully, those things are improving now, and we've been getting her medical help, and she's starting to live independently. But it was a very tough couple of months after his death, and there was a lot of things to do. Then I was having problems sleeping, and I was having flashbacks. I went to the doctor, and they diagnosed me with a mild form of PTSD. I then underwent treatment for that PTSD, and things have started to improve, and now I'm here making a video. So it's been a pretty tough year for me. I'm going to be honest with you, and this is not an easy video to make at all. So that's what happened. That's why I've not been around. I'm sorry I haven't updated you sooner. It's not easy to talk about these things. I had a very good relationship with my father. I know a lot of people don't, but I saw him every single day, and we were great friends, and we hung out and we went and did photography together. And it's difficult to reconcile that he's gone, especially when he was so healthy and vibrant. That's that, I guess. So moving on into 2018, these are my plans. First of all, I want to talk to you about the problems I have with working on YouTube. Ignoring the censorship problems and the fact that it's now basically Disney Channel friendly and you can't do anything without getting demonetized. Ignoring all of that shit, the actual business model itself just doesn't work with the kind of content that I want to make. I want to make high quality videos. I want to make them about things I'm interested in and passionate about. But what I found myself doing was just jumping on the rat race and rushing out content and covering things I wasn't interested in because they were the things that would make the most money. That's not why I got into YouTube. I didn't get into YouTube to make money. I got into YouTube because I actually want to make the content that I'm making. So I'm stepping away from that model. I don't want to involve myself in that rat race anymore. I just want to make good content. In order to do that, I'm going to be, from this point forth, entirely viewer supported. That means Patreon, that means donations. I am not going to be running ads on the channel. I'm not going to be doing sponsorship deals. I'm not going to be doing paid promotions. You're not going to have to listen to ad spots for MeUndies or Squarespace on my channel. You're not going to have to deal with affiliate links and potential conflicts of interest. I will disclose anything that may be a potential conflict of interest moving forward. This is my plan. In order to achieve that, I'm moving over to Patreon and donations only. If you believe in the content I make on this channel and you want to support it, head on over to my Patreon page and you'll find the information you need there. I'm going to make content I'm interested in making. For example, someone today asked me, hey, why don't you cover Rainbow Six Siege again? A lot has changed. In my previous situation, I wouldn't be able to do that because that wouldn't be profitable. But now I can, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do things like that. I'm going to go, hey, that game's changed a lot in the last couple of years. Let's go have a look at that. Let's see why that's more popular now. Let's make a video about this topic or that topic. Hey, a fan suggested I talk about this. Let's go do it. So it frees me up to make the kind of content I want to make. Getting away from ads also allows me to use copyrighted material, which is something I wanted to do. I mean, even when I'm using a trailer for the game I'm covering in my videos, they would get demonetized. It's just an unsustainable system, in my opinion, and it stifles creativity and punishes creators, and that's not something I want to engage in. So moving forward, entirely viewer supported. So if you want to help and you have a bit of spare cash, I would greatly appreciate it, and hopefully you'll enjoy the content that comes out. In terms of content I'm going to be making, my first video back is going to be on a game called Escape from Tarkov. Something I've been playing the past couple of days. It's a pretty interesting game. It has problems, but I want to look into it and give you my thoughts on it. So expect a video on that in the next week or so. Also, as I start to ramp up production again, please bear with me. It's been a while since I've done this stuff. So there's a few things I need to take care of, a few emails I need to send, some boring behind the scenes crap that I got to take care of, but you can start to expect videos coming in now, so stay tuned for that. Finally, I just want to say thank you to everyone who supported me, came out and showed support when my dad was ill on Twitter, on Facebook, Discord, and a lot of people got together and bought me an Oculus Rift and continued to support me on Patreon, even though they were getting nothing in return. That show of support meant a hell of a lot to me, and it got me through some pretty shitty times in my life. So thank you very much, guys. I really mean it. I'm going to get back to making videos now, because that shit's not depressing. Take care of yourselves, guys. I'll see you in the next video.